Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and you're welcome to the third draw series for the Leitrim Connacht Gold Intermediate Football Championship Round 2 and the Connacht Gold Senior Football Championship Round 3. So we are going to commence the draw this afternoon with the Smith Monumentals Intermediate Football Championship Round 2. I'm joined here by Vincent O'Rourke, the Secretary of CCC Leitrim, and the Chairperson of CCC Leitrim, Seamus McManus, and Anne McGee, who is a member of the CCC, who will conduct the draw. So, just to explain to you briefly the format for Round 2 of the Intermediate Football Championship, the teams that were away in Round 1 will be at home in Round 2. So they will be the first teams to be drawn. And then when we have drawn out the first 5 teams that will play as home teams in Round 2, we will go to pick out the away teams. And that's where we'll have to slow the draw down because we have to obviously avoid any repeat pairings. So I think we're good to go. So Seamus will draw out the first ball, and this will be the first team to be at home in Round 2 in the Smith Monumentals Intermediate Football Championship.
Anna Duff.
Anna Duff will be at home in the first game, and they will be followed the second home team,
Bornacoola.
Bornacoola. And the third home team, Seamus?
Drumkieran.
Drumkieran. And the fourth home team will be
Melvin Gales.
Melvin Gales. And finally, the last ball will be the last home team in Round 2.
Ahavas.
Ahavas. So now we will move on to pick out the away teams, and as the first team that will be drawn out will play Anna Duff, unless of course it's Kilturbert, which they played in the first round. So the first team out to play Anna Duff.
Drumreilly.
Drumreilly. So the first pairing is Anna Duff versus Drumreilly. Second team out will play Bornacoola, unless of course it's Alan Gales.
Alan Gales.
Alan Gales, right. So what happens there now is Alan Gales will move down into the next available slot, and they will play Drumkieran. So the game number 3 will be Drumkieran versus Alan Gales. Next team, Seamus, will play Bornacoola.
Carrigallen.
Carrigallen. Bornacoola versus Carrigallen. So just slow it there for a second. We still have Ballinadlera, I think, left, who have already played Ahavas. But draw the next one out anyway. The same format happened last week.
Kilturbert.
Kilturbert. Okay, so Kilturbert and Drumreilly should be the last one left. Is it? No, Drumreilly is already out. Ballinadlera have already played. Yeah, we're good, yeah. Melvin Gales will play. Who's that? Kilturbert.
Kilturbert.
Kilturbert. Yep. And Ahavas will play.
Ballinadlera.
Ballinadlera. So just to recap on that draw for Round 2, it's Anna Duff versus Drumreilly, Bornacoola versus Carrigallen, Drumkieran versus Alan Gales, Melvin Gales versus Kilturbert, and Ahavas versus Ballinadlera. So that concludes the draw for the Intermediate Football Championship, sponsored by Smith Monumentals Round 2. So now we can dispense with that bucket, and we will move to the Connacht Gold Senior Football Championship Round 3. So you can just bear with us for a second here now. The format for Round 3, the draw in Round 3, is that all of the teams have been placed back into the one bag, We will draw them out. The first 5 teams drawn out will have home advantage, and they will then be obviously joined by the other ones. We have to be careful, obviously, here now. The 2 rounds have been played, so we have to avoid repeat pairings, but that will become apparent as we go through it. So it's relatively speaking an open draw. We're drawing again for home advantage, and we draw the first 5 home teams out. So, Seamus, first home team in the Connacht Senior Football Championship Round 3 will be
Dromahair,
St. Patrick's. Second team out will be at home also.
Glencar Manor,
Glencar Manor Hamilton. And the third team at home.
Aughawillan,
Aughawillan. And the fourth home team,
St. Mary's,
St. Mary's Kiltahart. And the last team to have home advantage,
Fena St. Collins,
Fena St. Collins. Okay, so we'll just pause it there for a second. So we've got a mixture of teams that are Dromahair were at home in round 1, they're now at home in round 3. Glencar Manor, home in round 2 and 3. Aughawillan, home in round 1 and home in round 3. St. Mary's Qatar, 2 home games in a row in rounds 2 and 3. And Fena St. Collins were home and away. So we have to be careful here now. When we draw the next team out, we'll play Dromahair, unless it's either of the teams they played previously. So number 6 drawn out.
Leitrim Gales,
Okay, so Dromahair versus Leitrim Gales. Next one, Seamus. We'll play the next team drawn out. We'll play Glencar Manor, unless it's Aughawillan or Mohill. Okay, so it's Mohill. Glencar Manor versus Mohill. Okay. Next team out, Seamus.
Sean O'Hestlands,
Aughawillan versus Sean O'Hestlands. Okay. So, just pause it there for a second now. We have Aughawillan versus Sean O'Hestlands. St. Mary's and Fena are left in the draw at home, as are Gort Letra and Aughnasheelin. Okay, so St. Mary's have already played Gort Letra, so St. Mary's have to play Aughnasheelin. And Fena St. Collins have to play Gort Letra. And that, ladies and gentlemen, concludes the draw for the Connacht Gold Senior Football Championship round 3. And I'll just recap on that for you. Dromahair St. Patrick's will play Leitrim Gales. Glencar Manor Hamilton will play Mohill. Aughawillan will play Sean O'Hestlands. Ballinamore Sean O'Hestlands. St. Mary's Kiltahart will play Aughnasheelin. And Fena St. Collins will play at home against Gort Letra. So that concludes the 2 draws. We'd like to wish all of the teams the very best of luck in those competitions respectively, and the games will be scheduled by the CCC at their meeting, which takes place immediately following this draw. So thanks again to Vincy and Seamus and Anne for assisting with the draw, and to Brendan and to Con here on the technicals to ensure that the draw has gone out, we hope, favourably and gone out to the audience and all the interested parties. So, Gurmida Mahagiv Galer.